Have you ever watched someone you love struggle with a shaky hand or a slower step and wondered what's really going on? Maybe it's a spouse, a friend, or even yourself noticing those little changes that don't quite feel like the usual wear and tear of getting older. If that hits close to home, you're not alone. Parkinson's disease touches so many lives, especially as we move into our 60s and beyond. I'm so glad you're here with me today because we're going to talk about something that matters deeply: understanding Parkinson's disease and supporting those affected. This isn't about getting lost in medical mumbo-jumbo, it's about making sense of what's happening and finding real, everyday ways to help ourselves or the people we care about live fuller, happier lives. We'll walk through 5 key things to know and do, and I promise it'll feel like a warm conversation, not a lesson. So, settle in with me, and let's get started. Let's begin with the basics: what Parkinson's actually is and why it shows up more as we age. Picture your brain like a busy control room, sending signals to keep your body moving smooth and steady. Parkinson's happens when some of those signal senders, tiny cells that make a chemical called dopamine, start to fade away. Without enough dopamine, things like walking, writing, or even buttoning a shirt can get shaky or stiff. My friend Jack, who's 71, noticed his hand trembling when he poured his coffee one morning, and he brushed it off as just being tired. But it kept happening, and that's when he learned it was Parkinson's. Experts say it's more common after 60 because our brains naturally slow down a bit over time, and for some of us, that slowdown tips into something bigger. Knowing it's not just old age, but a real condition can be the first step to handling it. Whether it's you or someone close, understanding what's behind those changes makes all the difference. Now, while we're wrapping our heads around what's happening inside, let's talk about something you can see and feel every day: how movement gets tricky with Parkinson's. Jack told me he started feeling like his feet were stuck to the floor sometimes, or his arms wouldn't swing like they used to when he walked. That's one of the big signs: stiffness or slowness that doesn't ease up with a good stretch. But here's where support comes in. Keeping active can actually help. Jack's doctor suggested he try some gentle exercises, like lifting his knees high while sitting or swaying to music. Nothing fancy, just a few minutes a day, and he says it's like oiling a rusty hinge, things move a little easier. Experts say staying active keeps those brain signals firing as best they can, and for folks around someone with Parkinson's, joining in for a slow walk or a stretch can be a quiet, powerful way to say, "I'm here with you." It's not about fixing everything, it's about keeping what works working longer. So, we've got a sense of what Parkinson's does and how movement can fight back a bit. But there's another piece that's just as real: the way it can tug at your emotions, and that's where we'll go next, because supporting the heart is as important as supporting the body. Living with Parkinson's isn't just about the physical side, there's a whole emotional world that comes along with it, and that's something we can't overlook. You might notice it in yourself or someone you love, those days when frustration creeps in because a simple task takes longer, or when a quiet sadness settles over for no clear reason. My friend Jack, who's been navigating this for a couple of years now, told me he'd get so mad at himself when his shaky hands spilled his tea, and sometimes he'd just feel down without knowing why. Experts say that's not uncommon. Parkinson's doesn't just mess with dopamine for movement, it can throw off the brain's mood-balancing act, too. What's helped Jack is having his wife sit with him, not trying to fix it, just listening when he needs to vent or sharing a laugh over something silly. If you're supporting someone, that's a big one. Being there with a kind ear or a gentle word can lift more than you'd think. And if it's you, don't be shy about telling a friend or family member how you're feeling. It's not a burden, it's a bridge. While we're talking about what's going on inside, let's shift to something practical you can do every day: keeping the mind sharp. Parkinson's can sometimes fog up your thinking, like forgetting where you parked the car or losing your train of thought mid-sentence. Jack noticed he'd blank out on names more often, and it rattled him. But he started doing little brain games, nothing high-tech, just a crossword puzzle with his morning coffee or chatting about old memories with his kids. It's like flexing a muscle, it keeps things from stiffening up. Experts say staying engaged, whether it's a puzzle, a hobby, or a good conversation, can help your brain find workarounds for those foggy moments. If you're the supporter, try joining in, play a card game together or ask about their favorite stories. It's not about curing anything, it's about keeping the spark alive, and it's a gift you can give each other. So, we've got emotions finding a soft place to land and mind staying active, 2 ways to hold steady through the ups and downs. But there's another part of this that's all about the little routines of daily life, and that's where we'll head next because making things easier at home can change everything. Life's little routines, like tying your shoes or making a sandwich, can start to feel like big hurdles with Parkinson's, and that's where a few simple tweaks can make a world of difference. Jack, my friend who's been living with this, used to fumble with buttons on his shirts until he was red in the face, and it wore him out before the day even started. His daughter picked up some shirts with zippers instead, and he laughed about how he felt like a kid again, but it worked. He's got more energy for things he actually enjoys. Experts say that's the trick, adapting your space so it helps, not fights you. Think slip-on shoes, a grabber for high shelves, or even a chair in the kitchen to sit while you cook. If you're supporting someone, look around their place with them, ask what's tough and brainstorm together. It's not about taking over, it's about smoothing the edges so they can keep doing what they love, their way. Now, while we're making daily life a bit easier, let's talk about something that ties into everything else, staying connected with the people who matter. Parkinson's can make you want to pull back, maybe because moving's harder or you're just not feeling up to it, but those connections are like a lifeline. Jack told me he stopped going to his weekly card game because he was embarrassed about his shaky hands dropping the deck. His buddies didn't let that slide, they showed up at his house with the cards instead, and now it's their new tradition. Experts say staying social keeps your spirits up and even helps your brain and body stay stronger longer. If you're the one with Parkinson's, don't be afraid to say yes to a visit or a call. It's not charity, it's friendship. And if you're the supporter, keep inviting, keep showing up. Small gestures like that can light up a tough day. So, we've got home life flowing smoother and friends keeping the heart warm, 2 big ways to live well with Parkinson's. But there's one more piece that's all about taking care of the whole you, and that's where we'll go next because a little self-kindness goes a long way.